Goodrich, that just wouldn't work with my family. Why, we don't have any time for family worship.
The days do fill up in a hurry, Mrs. Faraday.
Well, there's not a family anywhere that has any more interest than we do.
Perhaps. But now you've asked me for something that would help to hold the family together. And family worship is one of the best things I know.
But how can we get anything else in?
It may be a question of leaving something else out, Mrs. Faraday, deciding what's most important. Many families do manage it. I have a letter. I've had it a good while, as you can see. It was from a soldier out in Korea while the fighting was still going on out there. Dear folks, and especially dear Mom, I know you must be anxious about me since I haven't had much time to write lately, what with the sergeant rushing me all the time. But I'm okay, and it looks like we're out of danger, at least for the time being. Hope you are all fine.
Hope you are all fine. I sure hope this letter gets home by Mother's Day. Because of you, Mom. I wonder if all families are as close as we are. Even though I'm 7,000 miles away, I still feel close to you all. It's hard to say what my family means to me. There have been times when I felt I just couldn't do some things. But then I'd remember you and Dad, and it was like you were here, helping me.
Gee, that was a close one.
You hurt, soldier?
No, just singed my beard.
Your what?
I said my beard.
All right. You can breathe, can't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Relax.
They haven't stopped for 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
And this rain.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hey, well, what are you doing?
Writing a letter.
In this?
Sure. Why not? It helps. You got any folks, soldier?
Well, I guess. Ain't everybody? Hey, they're coming closer. Let's get out of here.
Hold it, boy. We're safer here. Come on. Sit down. You want to write a letter?
Huh? Oh, no.
It's almost 6:30.
Are you nuts? It's after midnight.
No, I'm in 6:30 p.m. back home.
So what?
Well, I'll tell you. Every evening about 6:30 after supper, the whole family gets together. Mom, Dad, Sis, Tommy. We do 2 things. First, we have, well, sort of a family council. We talk about problems that came up during the day. And then next, we have a family worship service.
Every night?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah. Of course, Tommy gets to wiggling now and then, but, well, he's only 10, and... Well, here, I got a picture. There they are. That's Mom, Dad. There's Sis and Tommy.
Well, time for meeting. Anybody got any particular problem tonight?
I have. I don't see why Jimmy can't take Pat to the party. She's his cousin, too.
Well, why don't you give her one of your boyfriends?
Yeah, make it be a good giveaway.
Tommy, don't you mention that name in my presence again. Ever. Father, I have no boyfriend to spare.
I see.
Jimmy, why won't you take her to the party?
And have my head chopped off by that jealous redhead who loves me? Oh, not much.
Mother, see? What can we do?
Well, perhaps we can have some cokes here before the party. There must be some nice boy who...
Oh, sis, you ought to trust me a little more.
Oh,
Holy cow.
you.
Mom, I've got it all fixed up. Shaggy Williams will double date with me and my girl and then take Pat...
Shaggy Williams? Jimmy, you can't.
Don't be such a snob. Shaggy's all right.
But he's so dumb.
Well, I admit he's no brain.
Mother, what will Patty think?
Why, I think Shag's a sweet boy.
But think what Patty will get from me when I visit her.
Oh, so that's it.
A girl has to think about those things.
Mm-hmm. Entirely too much, if you ask me.
You're a boy. You just don't understand.
Oh, I know about girls. Well, now, look, sis, I'm sorry if you don't like Shaggy.
Oh, it's not that I don't like him. Well...
Well, anyway, it's the best I could do offhand, and it's fixed now. I don't think we ought to try and change it.
Well, I guess it'll have to do. Thanks. Thanks, Jimmy.
Well, that's settled. Any other problems? Mother?
Everything's fine in my department. Since our session 2 nights ago, the boys have done very well in keeping their rooms picked up.
Jim?
I'm happy.
Tommy?
No problems, Dad.
Now then, let's have our worship session. Sue, isn't it your turn to read from the Bible?
Yes, Dad.
And I read the thought for the day, don't I?
That's right, and Jim has the meditation.
Okay.
Let's see. Here's the reading for the day, the middle of the 14th chapter of St. Luke. Then Jesus said, When thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid against thee, and recompense be made thee. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee. Jim, is it true that Shag's girl just left him flat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just got to thinking maybe...
Yep. That's what I had in mind. Shag's been feeling pretty low ever since it happened, and, well, you know how it is. When I mentioned getting a date with Patty, he lit up like a Christmas tree. Imagine taking a good-looking, out-of-town girl to a party.
I guess my mind was just on me. Maybe this'll help Shag over the hump.
Yeah, it sure will.
But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee.
Do you do that all the time?
Oh. You mean hash things through like that? And then read from the Bible? Yeah.
Gee. Do you...
Look, do you mind holding it a couple of minutes? It's 6:30 back home now, and, well, there's something I always do when I got time. Won't take but a minute.
Hey, read that out loud, will you?
Sure. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
So many of the guys haven't got anything to hang on to. More and more, I realize what our family sessions meant. I love you and think of our family all the time. Your son, Jimmy. It's worth the effort, isn't it, Mrs. Faraday?
Yes, it is. But how do we begin?
Well, families differ. Each must work out its own way and form and time and place. I imagine that now, most of all, you need something to help you get started. Many families have found this little booklet helpful. It's the Upper Room Devotional Guide. You'll note it has a page for each day with a scripture and a meditation, a prayer, and a thought for the day. I believe you'll find it helpful.
I'm sure I will. Where can I get one of these?
You take that copy.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I believe you'll find that the habit of family worship helps the family stay together.
Well, I'm convinced. Now all I have to do is to convince my family. I'll start tonight.
Well, good, Mrs. Faraday, and I'd like to know the outcome. You know, all of us are busy today, aren't we? We live such crowded lives. But we still have that God-given right to choose that to which we will devote our time. We can choose to set aside a part of it for family or personal devotions. But I also know that most of us need something to get started. We need a guide to use day by day. Your own minister will be glad to suggest one for you, or I'd like to send you a copy of the Upper Room Devotional Guide, the one that I gave to Mrs. Faraday. Today it's published in many different languages and used by literally millions of persons all over the world every day. It has a page for each day, a scripture, a meditation, a prayer, and a thought. If you'd like to have a copy of the Upper Room, simply take a card or a letter and address it to me, the pastor, in care of this station. And on the other side of the card, right at the top, put Upper Room, and then your name, your address, your city and state. Your name, your address, your city and state, and at the top of the card, write Upper Room, and address it to me, the pastor, in care of this station. And in a few days, your copy of the Upper Room will be on its way. You know, family worship is a challenge. I think it's something of the challenge which Joshua, that leader of Israel, put to the people of his day in these words: "Choose you this day whom ye will serve, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord."